The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Hi, everybody. It's Nico Haan and Paige Clarke here, both of us together for
We're
first
back
time.
in the saddle.
I
missed you.
I missed you, too.
But I had a
Friday.
great time in Austria.
Oh.
I was in Austria. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and I was in Michigan.
Food was good, really, really good.
I bet you the food was great. Huh?
It was great.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's about 81 degrees here in downtown Clearwater. It's a beautiful day, and the number here is 877-927-6648. Like to give us a call. We're going to open up the phones now, and the chat room's all set to go, so we wanted to welcome everybody. And a lot of things are happening. While you were gone, Paige, I set up my website a little bit different. Got it up here now. So if you go to TFNN.com, you can go right to the site on the right-hand side of TFNN. You'll find that it'll...
And you're building up the resource page, so that
building
should
up
help all of you guys.
And we have the latest episodes here on TFNN, from TFNN right on the site. So the last two are here. I don't know why the other one isn't showing, but there you are right there.
Oh, yeah. That's when Allie and I talked about yoga.
Exactly. And then I also have, of course, some information about myself and some information about lovely Paige and information on the newsletter. And then I have the Primal Resources where you can actually click on something like we had last week, Paleo on the Go, and you can go there and order right from our site to their site. And also I have a lot of different
Recommended
links.
reading and products.
And a lot of products that I use when I'm on the road, especially the activated charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things when I'm eating out, I use this activated charcoal, and that removes toxins from your body. So
And that's so true because, when you stop and you think about it, the biggest insult our immune system has is actually bacteria, fungus, viruses that come in through our food.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, if we can help to capture and isolate those bugs and so forth, we can be a lot better off.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
And then I have some different cosmetics, other choices of cosmetics, so you can read through that
All stuff we like, so...
Yeah. And a bunch of other primal information. And then we have the ancestral videos, which you can already click on that right away, and boom, the... video will come up, and there's going to be a whole new series of different summits.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a indication from Alan, sent me, said one of the new summits are coming up, a paleo summit.
Yeah,
and,
maybe we'll go.
It's possible,
Yeah,
for sure.
be nice.
And I have some other stuff here, the blog, and then the YouTube, which is all the past episodes. So you want to go through, and you can write from my site. You can go through all the past episodes. And
I'm just thinking about that. We've got quite a few of those now.
We got hundreds of them.
I know,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's pretty
Time
exciting.
flies when you're having fun.
So one of the things we do on our show, too, is go over a little bit of the newsletter. And I have a brand new newsletter coming out, folks. It's only $10 a month. You get 2 issues for that $10, and they're packed full of things. And some of the things that are on this week's is, the first thing is Jamie Oliver's.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's got a great talk on
it
teaching
says,
children about food.
Right. Teach children. What his prize wish is to teach every child about food. I mean, that's if we all would do that. Just think how that could change the health of the world today if we started teaching our children about food. But our children are not learning about food. They're learning about merchandise. So you go into a store, and all the merchandise is at eye level, so it attracts the kids in the bright boxes and bags and so forth.
Yeah.
I mean, just the stuff that attracts children if you turn over and read the labels. Halloween candy, for example.
Yeah, which is really one of my worst holidays, I think. It's, really teaching everybody the wrong thing, and then you're going around pretending you're somebody else, too, which, whatever.
I just learned that was actually originated in Bavaria.
Yeah,
We were talking about that.
Yeah, Germany.
And it was really, over there, yesterday was actually, it's All Souls Day. All Souls Day. So the way they don't even trick or treat. It's just starting to catch on, just like kind of McDonald's is creeping in and invading their life.
Right.
So is trick or treat and all these Americanized holidays. But you go to the cemeteries and they're full of families. They're all visiting their loved ones. It's like their day to recognize and love their loved ones. That's what it's really about.
Yeah.
So somehow or another it then turned into, the spirits good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what America did. Halloween, the spirits good and bad are coming out.
Yeah,
So.
I think these countries should keep their own traditions.
And they are.
I saw on TV there was the Chinese were getting into, and the Japanese were getting into Halloween also.
Kind of funny.
We don't need to Americanize the whole world. It's kind of nice to
absolutely.
have all these different holidays, and some of these traditionalists are very, very good, and I really enjoy going to another country and seeing their traditions. I don't want to go over to Bavaria and see Americanized version of Halloween. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's just me.
Yeah.
5 reasons you need to avoid GM foods. I think it's important to really hammer this down so that you're really, cognizant of what is in our food.
There are practitioners like myself that are actually, when people come in, they say, I need a diet. Well, the best diet that you can go on is to just say no to GMOs.
Oh, that's a perfect start.
I mean, start there. A zillion different health conditions can actually improve by simply eliminating this, because they are so implicated in what's going on in the body, from creating allergies from the different gene splicing that they're doing.
We're even talking about our children becoming a different species from us.
It's highly probable, I think.
It's a pretty interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing in here will be talking about...
Confirmed by science, really, how can you change your DNA? And this, to me, is at the heart of what I do, to learn to defy your DNA and to... there was a little...
And changing it through intention. That's the real key here.
Through intention and understanding that the only person who's going to make you healthy is you. And that, in fact, I believe a lot of this belief in that our genes control our destiny is a little bit of a control mechanism. Do you follow me on that?
Mm-hmm.
If you create the idea... Let me read this. The difference between these two significant... decisions, epigenetics or genetics is the cause of disease. The reason is that literally means that our lives, which are defined as our physical, physiological, and emotional behavioral traits, are controlled by the genetic code. This kind of belief system provides a visual picture of people being victims. If the genes controlled our life functions, then our lives are being controlled by things outside of our ability to change them. And that's really the message I want to drive home, is that we have to take back our own health.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. We may not have all the answers, but we're trying to find the real cause of what's going on.
Well, you got to do your own investigations. You got to make up your own mind. But certainly, the larger the bodies that control our food and our intentions, the worse off we are.
Yeah, and this finally says, this leads to victimization, that the illnesses and diseases that run in families are propagated through the passing of genes associated with those attributes.
Yes.
Laboratory evidence shows this simply is not true.
And at the bottom of the page, you can see the resources in there, so you can go and find the actual documents where this came from.
Yes, so it really is. We've said this before in the show. They've determined that your genes the genes are responsible for, some people say, 1 to 10, maybe at most 10% of all disease processes. It's like a big library. If you had that big wall over there filled with books, there's a volume. Those are, you can flip a switch, and it depends on which volume you pull out. So,
very cool.
That's really what we want to do, is control that we pull out the good switches and leave the bad ones.
And the next article really about how to change the microcosm inside your gut, inside your stomach, and that really affects a lot of things. And one of the things in this document is talking about weight gain, but there's so much more to it. But this is the really start of understanding that what you put in your body really makes a difference in how you look. And we've probably all seen the charts on TV where they're showing the United States, and they're showing that in the 1950s, there's a little weight gain, and then all of a sudden there's a larger weight gain, and then they have to add things to the chart because now the old models are wrong, so they have to add. Now we're adding 30% body fat to ourselves, and now we're adding 40% body fat.
We're accommodating this.
Yeah, we're accommodating this, and you can see how it's really a nightmare. And so using that to understand how your body is really controlling that weight gain because of what you eat.
Well, a couple things I want to say there is, the merchandise. I get back to the merchandise that we're being sold that is masquerading as food. The merchandise, it's dead food. It has no biota and life. Biota, it's anti-biota, you know, the food. So we need to add back these probiotic organisms that we get from fermented foods, from live foods, from you know, and then the onslaught of antibiotic use that we probably all, I use the word we're victims of as children, the aggressive use of antibiotics just at every little inkling.
Yeah, and that same thing that's happening to our children and ourselves is happening to the animals that are being fed the same crap.
Right, exactly. So it's important to encourage a healthy microbiome in the gut.
Then an article about butter and cheese is better for you than a trans fat.
But you guys already knew that.
Yeah, you already know that. A long-term study between a child ADHD and obesity, how that links in there, and that's the first study is, and there's a lot of links in there. You can go do some education there, and how Advil and all these non-sterile anti-inflammatory drugs are really having lots of side effects, and that you shouldn't really be using these. If you're going to use anything, maybe a little aspirin, but there's a lot of natural ways.
Let's kind of go over some ideas of natural pain relief, because I like to teach people to build their own natural pharmacy, you know, and when you buy your natural herbs and so forth, one of the best pain relievers in the world is ginger water, fire water. I mean, ginger is wonderful. Ginger is wonderful as an essential oil added to a lotion or to a cream or to an aloe cream to rub onto a spot. Creates heat.
Lavender, another really nice oil that you can use. I use it every day because it's a calming effect. I use it to help me go to sleep at night. So, you know, we got so many good things out there. The next thing is top 8 supplements to boost your pineal gland. Pineal gland.
Yeah, this is really important because there's a lot of research that says that the pineal gland is really our connection to the spiritual world or our higher selves, and a lot's going on there. And you know, do you know what is primarily one of the main things that damages the pineal gland?
What is that?
Fluoride. It calcifies the pineal gland. So, you know, you could maybe look into that and think, is there an idea here that if we, you know, administer fluoride in the water, perhaps there could be some impact on the spirituality.
Never drink fluorinated water. Jay in the chat room is saying ginger oil.
Yeah, you can use ginger oil, or you can through using an essential oil of ginger.
I think a lot of people don't. When they think of ginger, they don't really think of oil, do they?
No, but as an essential oil of ginger, Zanzibar, you can add it to lotions like I often do with my clients. If someone's having pain, I'll make them a little blend to apply to their place of pain, and it helps. So yeah.
Then your brain on B vitamins. Of course,
we have to talk about that on the next break. I'm big on Bs.
Yeah. Number here is 877 folks 926648. 942-6648. Don't have the number in front of me all of a sudden.
That's right, because you got this new screen thing.
We're working on it, folks.
So we'll be back after the break.
Yeah.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at directionshares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back. And you're with Paige and Nico, and we're living a primal lifestyle. And we had someone ask us a little bit more about the pineal gland, so we're going to slow down and talk about it.
Well, it's an important article.
Yeah, in fact, again, this is a perfect example of why our newsletter is so powerful for you guys, because it's just, how often do you get a newsletter where it's just clickable links, clickable videos, but you could spend, when we try and hit the highlights of this article, it's a good 30-minute read if you go ahead and
and then all the links, you've got hours there, because they really link to all these different oils they're talking about.
So let me just tell you, because this is something I've been very passionate about, is because I think all of you know me by now, you know that I'm very passionate about not having fluoridation. I think fluoridation is designed to really inhibit who we really are. And, this article kind of highlights some of the same points. Yeah. You've heard of the third eye, or the pineal gland as a third eye. It's considered to be the seat of the soul and our connection to our spiritual gateway. So if people want to fully activate who they really are, their spiritual beings, and tap into that power of the pineal gland, you must begin by strengthening its function through detoxification and nutrition. Because of our chemical-laden life and the fluoride that's gone in, it has invited, and an article actually says here, in our water, all the toxins such as fluoride in our water, the pineal gland and our entire bodies are becoming exposed to many more toxins and nanoorganisms than ever before. You guys hear me talk about nanobacteria, stealth bacteria, bugs that can live and survive in the environment. So what they do is to protect themselves. The nanobugs create a calcium shell to cloak themselves and keep to protect them from being identified by our powerful immune systems, and they often can survive for long periods of time. So these calcium shells around them have created protection, and it's resulted in the calcification of the pineal gland, of which many of us have pineal glands that are already completely calcified. And you'll see this on pictures of a brain scan. You'll see a little white dot. That's the calcified pineal gland. You'll see that in brain pictures.
I think it's important also to point out that all the different drugs that, all the drug companies are pushing are mostly designed to fool our immune system.
Exactly.
And what we're trying to do really is enhance
the immune system and allow it to do what it was so designed to do.
So all these natural products that are being mentioned here and that we talk about, it's actually the opposite of what the drug companies are doing. So, and also, you mentioned all those toxins that are in, like the fluoride and who knows, all these GMO things. Those are also trying to fool our body. So we've got an onslaught of different things.
Fool Mother Nature.
Exactly. So they're trying to fool Mother Nature through various things, and some of them are actually beneficial in a way, but in the long run they're not.
So, for centuries we have been trying to make this connection to our higher selves, through yoga. I mean, we've got civilizations that use the practice of ayahuasca tea, many of you have heard of that, to maybe reach a different dimension. But here's a list, but not in any particular order, of 8 supplements that will boost your pineal gland function, help in its decalcification, and support you on your journey of personal spiritual cultivation. Yeah. So, and as I say that, remember, think about calcification. We have too much calcification. We have cataracts in our eyes. That's calcification. We have joint pain and arthritis. That's calcification. Why is it calcified? Because we've got nanobacteria everywhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and not only that, now we have also the foods are very highly inflammatory, which causes the same type of process. You're getting much more inflammation, and of course, when you calcify things, then now the natural nutrients can't get in, and there causes inflammation again.
So here's some supplements and foods that can help you make the most of your pineal gland power. Melatonin. Melatonin is known to be a very anti-aging hormone, and we secrete that. The best thing to do for melatonin is to sleep in a totally dark room. We also know that oregano oil and neem extract are both very effective in helping to remove that calcification or to help to break that calcified shell. I happen to like certain special forms of garlic. Wild garlic also help. Anything we can do to break down that cloak that they're hiding under. Because both of those are natural antibiotics against...
And of course, oregano.
Yeah, that's what I said, oregano oil and neem extract.
And the thing is about the newsletter is they have direct links on where to buy this stuff, so you can, and of course the explanation of why you need that.
Raw cacao, chocolate, guys. There's a lot of antioxidants in cacao, and you can use it to help stimulate the third eye.
Okay, we got just a few more minutes left. I don't want to go over the whole newsletter, but another thing, honey beats coffee. Honey and coffee beats steroids for treating coughs. I've got some great recipes in here: ribeye steaks, slow cooker. Then I've got things on spotlighting.
Molly Suds.
Molly Suds.
I met her
great.
Down at the market. Yeah, great.
And then a real good thing at the end here about primal exercise, which you need to really look at, and talking about posture and how you can eliminate posture problems and why we've had this problem all along. It's a long article, but it really digs in and gives you the exercise in video. So we're going to be right back, folks. Stick around.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Techno-Mental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Basil Chapman has just announced that he will be hosting a one-day online master trader class. Friday, November 8th, Basil Chapman will teach you the essential fundamentals he uses when trading the market with his Chapman Wave methodology. Included in this full-day online master trader class is 1 month of Basil's daily newsletter service, The Opening Call, a $128 value, as well as a copy of his CD book, Introducing the Chapman Wave Methodology, which usually sells for $249. Join Basil Chapman for this powerful one-day online master trader class Friday, November 8th, which will be archived if you can't attend live, where he'll give you a complete understanding of the Chapman Wave methodology and how to apply it to profitably trade any market in any time frame. For all the details and to reserve your spot while taking advantage of early bird pricing and saving $200 off the regular price, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the program, folks. It's Nico and Paige here on the Nico and Paige Show, Living a Primal Lifestyle. And the number here is 1-877-927-6648. Hard to roll things off my tongue. Really wanted to talk about our trips a little bit.
Yeah,
because,
we were both little world travelers here.
Yeah, I went up to Michigan. That's where my children live. I have 2 girls and a boy, Kim, Kelly, and David. And it's always, wonderful to see my children.
And your grandbabies.
And they all have children. My son has a girl. She's about 15 years old. I have my oldest daughter has 4 children, 3 girls and a boy. And 2 of them are married now. There was Shanna got married a few years ago, and now Stevie got married, and that's when we went up for that wedding, and it was just fantastic. Of course, I have 3 great-grandchildren also, and it's good to see them. And
that's hard to believe.
Yeah. One of the great experiences is the last time I saw Stella, which is my middle daughter's baby. And she's 2 years old now, so last time I saw her, she was 6 months old. And we met at a restaurant right near her place in a small town in Howell, Michigan. Real nice little town. And they would come walking through the door, and Stella looked at me without any prompt, like we were soulmates. I mean, she ran up to me, hugged me, sat on my lap, put her head down on the lap, and it was like, I know she didn't recognize me, but she recognized me because we were kind of like soulmates,
Yeah.
It's really, that experience, you can't really describe what it's like, but I'm sure you can imagine, the feeling when a little child like that just recognizes who you are.
Recognizes that you are something in her life.
Yeah. So,
and will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, one of the things we do, of course, when we go there, we stay at this hotel, and it's kind of has an atrium in it. Mm-hmm. And they kind of are loose with children and stuff like that. So when the whole family meets there, the children can run around. It's like 5 floors. And then we can kind of sit down there in the atrium and talk and order food if we want to. And it was just very, very nice to see, There's nothing like family.
Oh, I know.
Especially when you've had really good experiences with family. I know I meet a lot of people, and I have a lot of friends who never had that great experience with their parents. They've had a bad relationship with their mother or their father or whatever, and really don't keep tabs on that. And I know my parents are gone, but you always have, things that go on in family life that are negative and positive, but I always remember all those positive things that my mother and my father and my sister always gave me, and I'm trying to pass that on to my children. And one of the biggest things now, of course, is talking about this food change. And every time I do, I notice that some of it hangs on, because you talk to 100 people and 2 people go on board with you, you kind of feel good about that. And even though you're blood relations, a lot of times, you see them eating things, you go to their house, and no, I don't eat that stuff. And I don't make a big deal out of it, but when it comes time to talking about that stuff, I make a big deal out of it, because I really want them to know what is happening.
Well, if we stop talking about our food, then we're never going to accomplish what we need to, and that's to really, I think, like you said, save the species.
Yeah, and they, eat whatever they want to eat, but I notice that slowly it is changing with them, and that really makes me feel good. We're on this program, hammering it down every time, and a lot of people may get tired of, we're always talking about food, but it's so, so important that the high quality of food is going to make such a big difference in your life.
And I think people like Jamie Oliver are doing a wonderful thing, and it's as simple as that, teaching children about food instead of selling them merchandise. I can relate to what you're saying, because I struggle with that too with my family, and even on the trip,
Right.
But, I was in Austria, and just as an example, they don't allow synthetic fertilizers there. They don't allow pesticides. They don't allow GMOs. So, although you're seeing...
Now, is that in the whole country, or is that in just the area where you're at?
Austria.
Really?
Quite frankly, most European countries don't. I mean, if you go and Google a map and type in countries that allow GMOs, you'll see that we're a minority. And
now, is Austria part of the EU?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. So there's a lot of talk about the EU now imposing certain things, certain standards that the whole... European Union is going to have to go on.
Well, they have done that with Codex Luminaris on the supplements.
Yeah.
If what happens to the EU happens here, we'll have a real. There'll be, although you see tons of supplements and things, just the way they're presented. Mm-hmm. Because there's people that actually want to order things from here because they can't get them in Germany,
Yeah,
or,
and we have
Austria.
We have the same thing. We want to order things from different countries because it's not available here too. So.
But I have to tell you, simple things when you look in Austria. I mean. Like an egg. An egg is the color of an orange rind over there. I mean, the animals, they eat the grass. I mean, they're grass-fed cows all the way. I mean, everywhere you see, there's beautiful, happy, healthy cows eating grass with just like you think, with the bells on,
Right.
And
so cool.
So the food is very fresh, and they have beautiful markets, farmers markets in the city. I'm not saying that they have stores, they have the modern conveniences, but you'll see that people still, use a lot of the refrigerators are often in the homes, maybe the size of what we use as a bar refrigerator, because they go to the market regularly. It's not like they use the refrigerator as a depot of all their processed food.
Yeah.
But, I still, my son went with us this time, and it was interesting because I asked him, do you see a difference in the way the people look? I still see a difference. I see the difference. The people are, they walk more. There's more of a town center.
How's your son? Is that the first trip he made?
Yeah, that's the first trip, actually. Yeah, he really
he's such a cool little guy.
I know he is. Yeah, he is. So I had a great time.
You know, one of
And
the
it
things.
didn't rain the whole time.
Oh, that's cool. It rained in Michigan. You know, we got rain about every other day, but the sun did peek through. But it was nice because it was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So, you know, we got to feel a little bit different. But it was nice to be home again, too. So.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing about going away is coming home.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. One of the things I noticed, too, when some of these food people on TV are traveling to different countries, how different the markets are there. Our markets are pretty much vegetables and stuff like that, but there they actually have the meat and the fish hanging. And
Oh,
there.
they have, yeah, exactly.
They don't even allow that here anymore.
Homemade sausages and the aged cheese, the mountain cheese that's, you know, over 100 days old. I mean, this is real cheese. Somehow or another we've been
And it's
told.
from a local area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
all
and you
made
can tell
there.
it's a family thing, and the fresh breads, and, you know, everything is fresh there. But you know, that's something that we really have to understand when I talk about merchandise. We're being fooled, guys. You know, this Americanized cheese, for example. Let's just use cheese as an example. You know, this overnight cheese is not even cheese. It's again when I say it's merchandise. Don't be sold the merchandise. Buy the real food.
And then, of course, a lot of the cheeses have the trans fat in it because they've removed a lot of the good fats, and especially these low-calorie cheeses. Anything really, I can make a broad statement about this. Anything that says low calories or 0 calories,
Or low fat.
Don't even try to eat it.
Well, that's merchandise because they've manipulated it with food science.
Yes. And they've also, you know, they're perpetuating that meme that's out there that fat is not good for you, when we know good dietary fat that's healthy and that isn't manipulated and can be pressed out naturally is some of the greatest things for you.
And we didn't even get to it, but that popped in my head, too. When we're talking about real dairy, real cheese. One of those other 8 things you can get if you get the newsletter about the pineal gland is that one of the best things for decalcification of the pineal gland is the X factor. Remember the X factor? That's the substance that Weston Price found was responsible for extremely healthy
Vitamin K?
Vitamin K2. It comes from the milk produced and the cheese produced by cows who eat rapidly growing green grass.
Yeah. And when you look at indigenous cultures all over the world that are involved in some type of dairy, it's a big part of their life because they can't get it in other ways. When you go to Mongolia, you know, and see those people that are indigenous there, they're huge in coming up with different types of cheeses, even hard cheeses that are like curds that are that you eat like popcorn almost. You know, so I mean, fascinating how all these different cultures have sought out these products.
Right.
You don't go to an indigenous culture and find cereal grains.
No.
You don't find bread that much. You know, it's used
or if it
to
is,
wrap
maybe
stuff.
it's you know, unleavened. You know,
It's
a
unleavened.
special-
It's a flatbread. It's probably it's sprouted or it's aged
in the
or
sun.
it's soured.
Right.
When you go to San Francisco, sour bread, the sourdough bread is actually not bad for you. It's not a health food by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not bad for you. It's not going to give you the problems that a whole wheat bread or even a white bread will give you.
You know, a lot of people ask me about supplements.
Yes.
You know, and although I do sell supplements, I like to explain to people the supplements that I recommend and use myself are foods. They just happen to be in the convenience of a capsule. They have life force. They have light. They have DNA. They emit energy. That's what I want. I'm not interested in synthetic supplements. If most people that bring in their bags of supplements for me to tell them whether or not they're okay, for the most part, most of them, I would rather see them take nothing.
Yeah.
And kind of take the load off because they're. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thought on supplements, they're really important these days.
That's the key word. They're supplements.
Yeah, well, they are supplements, and not only that, you need them if your diet isn't optimal. And I think any of us have the optimal diet.
None of us do. I mean,
No,
even
because we travel so much too, and you're out and about, you're going to need to supplement something because it's missing from your food.
Oh, I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I just dawned on me. So while we were there, every nice restaurant you sat down, they gave us a menu of the venison menu. Because
really?
why? Because everyone has just started hunting, so they'd have all kinds of wonderful dishes.
Wow.
But again, it's like the idea of the seasonality. And it was harvest time, and it's hunting season, and they had all these different, from soups almost to desserts with venison.
Wow.
It was neat. But when you're talking about supplementing, a statistic that I always tell people is in the 1950s, a peach today, we'd have to eat 56 peaches today to equal the nutritional value of a peach that we ate in the 50s. So obviously there's a
And
need
the
for
peaches
supplementation.
are a lot larger now. I mean, they used to be pretty
Well, that's
small.
because they're genetically modified.
Right,
They're
exactly.
probably spliced with a grapefruit or something,
Yeah. Well, that could be, yeah.
But the whole point is that that's kind of an oxymoron. Do we believe in supplementation? Yes. With what? The right things.
Yeah.
People are going out and buying supplements that are based on coal tar derivatives, meaning they are a petroleum byproduct. That does not make sense, guys. Right?
That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do not need to add talcum powder, a known carcinogen in the EU. They don't allow it, yet we add it to our supplements to make them slip through the machines. Why would we want to, think about it. If your body really wants to supplement a nutrient, let's say CoQ10,
Okay.
and I put it in a capsule with a known excipient, because I'm doing it because I get cheaper time on the machine to make it.
Now your body has to fight out that, right?
Well, the bottom line is that if my cells really want that CoQ10, aren't they really going to slurp up that excipient, which is a known carcinogen in other studies?
Yeah.
So why would I want to do that?
Yeah,
I
you
wouldn't.
don't.
I would want to get a CoQ10 that did not have these additives. So these are the things that are important, and these are the kind of things that people like Nico and I want to do. We're here to try and help you make better decisions, because the only person that's going to get you healthy is you. And the idea of taking supplements, a lot of times there's some tricks to the trade. I mean, people are marketing supplements because everyone hears that resveratrol is good for you, but you go and buy a supplement that has 2 milligrams. Is it doing anything?
Yeah, I know what you mean too. And also, people ask me about, do I take a multivitamin? And I think, well, certainly a multi-B vitamin is probably
A B complex?
B complex.
That's not coal tar derivative.
Right.
That's maybe in its fully reduced form, so it goes right into the bloodstream.
Yeah. So what generally we're saying is that if you take supplements, try to find the best. It's kind of like the food. If you're going to eat a chicken that's eaten its good food. And if you can't, then you're going to need to supplement maybe some of the oil-based, fat-based type of vitamins. You want to maybe get your omega-3s up a little bit. You want to eat a little more saturated fat because the chicken doesn't have as much. Those are the reasons that I see for taking the supplements, is what's missing in the food. Now, if you're eating the great food, if you've got access to that, then your vitamin deficiency is not as high. You don't need as many.
I just want people to be cautious about, remember that when you do buy supplemental nutrition, look for whole food, very low excipient, that has the whole cofactors and synergists of the vitamin. Let's use, for an example, vitamin C, and this is a good example. A lot of people, go and buy the big old jar of chewable vitamin C's.
That's the worst thing.
Well, the problem about it is, first of all, that's an isolated fraction of the vitamin C family, ascorbic acid, folks. So ascorbic acid is just one area. For example, ascorbic acid alone will not cure scurvy. It's the whole synergist, the lime of the limeys, okay? Yeah. So there's also a problem even with drinking citrus fruits and so forth. It can chew off the enamel, so it can be very corrosive.
Well, a lot of those fruits, of course, are high in fructose.
Right.
So, juicing is not the ideal thing if you want to do that. And there's many things in the supplements to avoid what we call, side effects. And I think you need to be aware of those things. We're trying to bring that to you. I guess we're on a break here. The number here is 877-927-6648. And please pick up my Health Signals newsletter, and we'll be back to the last segment.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Back to the show, folks. Nico here and Paige, and this is our last segment. I wanted to point out on the TFNN site, so if you go to the TFNN site here and you're looking at it, you see Tiger TV. You can watch the show immediately, of course. The real cool thing is when I was in Michigan, I was watching the show on my iPhone, and so there's a button that you push here. Now you scroll down, and there you see Living a Primal Lifestyle, which immediately brings you to my site, and there you can watch the episodes in video, of course, and then we have all the great links. You can link to my newsletter, and you can also see the Primal resources here.
I like our new toy here, being able to show this. I hope that's working out good for you guys.
So I hope you're seeing this, and you can link to, like, Emerald Essentials, which is a products that I use, and of course, Paleo on the Go, great news site, and then all the other stuff. But I wanted to get back to something here because we were really talking about the supplements.
Yeah, we're trying to give you guys some tips, and maybe we'll just start to encapsulate this a little bit. No pun intended.
I like that. I like it.
No, you know, when you're buying a supplement, I want you to really look for things that are whole food based and have the least amount of excipients or additives or toxic tag-alongs, as we call it. And the way you can do that is after you look at the ingredients on it, you can look and where it says other ingredients. If you see things like titanium dioxide, talc, color number 7, dye number 6, or whatever, magnesium stearate, these are questionable ingredients that are not for your health. They are often, included to help the supplement move through the machine, and they have been shown to be detrimental to the immune system. So I say, why use that?
Of course.
And I show this to people because I do energetic testing on people to show them that the supplements that I recommend that they might need, actually make their field strong, or that their body responds in a positive way, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to know more about vitamins and minerals and things like that, Paige is our expert here, and you can email Paige at tfnn.com.
And all of you can contact me. That'd be something if everyone contacted me all at once. But, always, all of you, I will talk with you for 15 or so minutes at no charge, just to kind of see where you're at and see if there's something we can help you with.
Same goes for me, Nico at tfnn.com. If you have any questions, and you can always give my number and call me also.
But on the other hand, about this nutrition thing, so if you're on your own there and you're looking for healthy supplements, you walk into a vitamin store, you basically 95% of them are going to be something that I would not recommend you use, because they're going to have toxic additives, they're going to be synthetic-based
certainly
vitamins.
Don't buy them in a drugstore.
Yeah. So if you do go to a nice healthy store or something, make sure you're looking for things that are whole food based. And the other thing is, there's the orchestra principle. It's an orchestra of being healthy, and so, too much of one mineral can actually cause a deficiency of another. So the reason I like to tell you to take any nutrition, people go, can I take this with food? I'm like, yes, it is food. Take it with food.
In fact, it's necessary to take it with food, because if it doesn't work the same way if you just do it on an empty stomach.
Right, because from your food, there are a few exceptions. There are a few nutritional supplements that might be wise to take on an empty stomach. For example, I actually like taking a probiotic at night.
Well, probiotic you need to put in before you eat.
Or you guys have heard me talk about my biofilm busters that I use to help break down nanobacteria. I like to do that. Systemic enzymes like wobenzymes, systemic enzymes taken before meals. But, the bottom line is, remember that any supplement you take it with food to get your maximum benefit of getting multiple nutrients that might be involved.
Yeah, and you might want to start with a low dose in the beginning to kind of get used to it and see how it works. And maybe
keep in mind the mega dose that you see a lot of times on synthetic vitamins is simply there because you only absorb less than 10% of it. The rest of it does not get processed. Yeah. So, keep in mind too, there's some great resources out there that can help give you ideas about nutrition that you need if you are on prescription drugs. Maybe we can talk more about that. Drug buggers.
And you need to talk about
Susie
the doctor
about
the different drugs that you're taking. If you're taking drugs and vitamins too, you don't want to get them confused. Anyway, that's the show today. Boy, it went by really fast, but we'll have one next week, and we got some great information coming to you. Look at my website and pick up the Health Signal newsletters. See you next week, folks.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.